Welcome back to another episode of Pressure with your girl Alicia, Jazzy Sweetz-N Treatz. And today I got a real special guest in here with me today. It's Big Sauce, the goddamn boss. You heard me? This is not just no anybody. This is actually my sibling. He been making his mark. If you check the hashtag on Instagram, Black Top Shit, you're gonna see what type of stuff he into. Tell him what it is, my dude. Tell him what it is. I don't want to call him dude because this TV, but man, tell him what it is, baby.
What's up, man? It's Moneyboy. Got the Touch Yourself out. Got Black Top Enterprise out. Got a detail shop out. You know, everything. Trying to be like you.
Ooh, I'm trying to be like you. We got millionaire status and our blood tycoon status. I know you like your little seafood thing, so I got something good for you today. We're gonna cook up. We're gonna do us some deep fried salmon with some shrimp pasta. So we gonna, you know how your sister do it anyway, but I wanted to bring you in so you can let us know about all your little projects and stuff. I see you have some hot features and stuff like that. Yeah. One Life Music Group. Y'all really doing y'all shit. Just tell me a little bit more about it.
I got something with Michelle with Marty coming out.
Dope.
Me and Level got something coming out. I got a big artist, something with the big artists. I can't say that right now.
Okay, I'll put it in the atmosphere here then.
I'm working. Got a lot going on. I got shows coming up. We throw shows. I'm in movies coming up. So, you know.
So, what's your next show?
I got, what is it, January 29th. You know, I throw parties too. So I got Shark Spitter and HD coming on to the showroom in Bacon.
Ooh, let me get a ticket.
So
So what I've done so far is I basically just turned the grease on. I have some regular vegetable oil right here cooking. You know, Crisco, keep it Crisco. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to show you a few basic steps. Right here, I did put a little water in the pot. We're gonna boil that too. But what I want to do first is I want to get a little oil to put in the noodles. I always make sure you put your noodles in a little salt and water, oil. With me, when I cook, I wash everything and I season everything. So I wanted to make that key note.
you know, you gotta teach me because I don't know how to cook nothing.
I already know, but that's all right. That's all right. Sister got you. Your sister got you. Don't even trip. So if you don't have oil, I prefer oil, but if you don't have oil, you can use butter. So I want to get this oil. Hand me that oil right there. Yeah, I'm about to get this oil and I want to show you a little trick. Crisco, baby, we gotta keep it crispy. So yeah, I'm gonna get this good Crisco oil, and what I do is I only use like a capful. You know, just a little capful of Crisco. And of course, your pink chameleon salt. And you can purchase this at Walmart. Any local grocery store, they should have pink chameleon salt. We don't need a lot. So, that's that. And our next step, because the way I cook, I like to have everything rolling at one time. I'm not the type of person where if I cook my fish, I'm waiting on my rice to be done or I'm waiting on something else to be done. I want everything to be cooking and rolling at the same time. So we're going to go ahead on and get started with putting up some butter in our skillet, and we're going to put our seasonings in here, and we're going to saute our seasonings until it is translucent, so to speak. So I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons in there of butter. Now this is another thing. I do not recommend anything but real butter. They have salted and they have unsalted. Unsalted is what you use for when you're making like cakes and pies and stuff like that. And salted is what you use for dishes that you want salt in. But they do have pies that require salt too, so you can use that too. So we're going to get this on a medium high. Let our butter melt. Some people just toss their seasoning in and just let it all come together. But I like my butter to melt a little bit first. So we're gonna get that water boiling back there. And I did put the water on high because with these meals, I don't want the other stuff to be ready before something else is not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for my cheese, I find that now when you're doing any type of pasta, macaroni, anything dealing with noodles, your cheese gonna always be the most important thing. You could get some cheap milk, but you cannot get cheap cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So get you some real butter. And this is not just milk, this is half and half. Half and half is gonna make it creamy. See, this butter gonna make it creamy also. So you're using, if you want a creamy, consistent texture, you're gonna use products that make your stuff creamy. So, and with the salmon, we're not adding any seasoning to the salmon. I would season this if I was pan searing it or something like that, or put it in the oven or on the grill. But being that I'm frying this, I use a it's a Louisiana fish fry. I use that. You can get that from any one of your local Louisiana stores. Tony's and stuff like that, they have it. But Louisiana seafood, that's where I get that fish fry. I mean, that's the name of the fish fry. So basically what we're going to do with that is, for our salmon, while we're waiting, you will just put your meat and that. Basically move it around, get it all saturated, and then you want to coat it here and fry it there. But you can't do that until your grease is really hot, okay? So while we're waiting on that, what we're going to do is pour our veggies in. So what I have is red bell pepper, green onion, and green bell pepper. And you know, I'm heavy with my seasoning. I use a lot of fresh seasoning and I use a lot of dry seasoning. I'm very heavy on the seasoning. Like I said, the good Lord, one of our great ancestors would have to, Granny had to say, hey, stop. Granny had to say stop. So, what made you get into the music?
I'm doing it since I was little.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying though, like you know,
I just always had a
had a
love
passion
for
for it.
it.
You remember that time I drowned in 6th grade?
Yeah. You remember the time I almost drowned in Blue Bayou?
Yeah. Swimming ain't fun though. Swimming ain't fun. But you know, our older brother, he's in the production side of it. What made y'all want to get together and you know, work together? Because I like the family unit. I like how y'all came together.
After my last CEO died, big fan for me, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. He just kept like, my brother just be like, man, you need to keep going, keep doing this, keep doing that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I was like, man, you need to start a record label. We can do it together. Man, I don't want to start no record label right now.
Sound like right.
So, you know, he ain't want to start nothing, but he kept, every time I do something, he want
Add his input.
Add his input. Come do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. Still do it to this day. So he was like, man, look, I'm finna start. We both gonna start it, and then we just went from there.
That's a big bet. So let me show you something real quick. I want you to see what seasonings. I'm gonna move it over this way for you. I want to show you what seasonings we're gonna use on our shrimp today, so we can put our shrimp in. We actually letting our vegetables get a lot more tender before we add our shrimp, because shrimp don't take long to cook. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna let that get a little more tender. I also turned the fire down because I don't want it to burn, but you're gonna consistently stir this so it doesn't stick to the pan. And you know, let it caramelize a little bit. You don't want it to burn though. Whatever you do, you don't want it to burn, because it's gonna leave like a gritty look to your pasta. If you was cooking like a dark dish, it probably wouldn't matter, but being that we're gonna have a white dish, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to see it, and I want everything to be pretty. So here we have our butter, unsalted butter again. We have our butter, and with this, I like them to cook down together. So we have our half and half. Now, what's the first rule in the kitchen with me cooking?
Clean, make sure everything clean.
That's two. Second thing, wash everything, season everything. So you know we got to season this sauce, right? This is our sauce. That's the base to the sauce that we're going to use for our pasta. So with me, for my sauce, I like the Greek seasoning. It just has a certain taste that I be looking for my pasta. So I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of that. So as my butter is cooking in, my seasoning is going to cook, you know, it's going to attach to that butter. And this is a complete season. You don't have to necessarily use the, if you get your complete, you don't have to get the onion and you need the bell pepper, onion and garlic and all of those things. And Italian season also. So we have our complete season. We're going to add a little bit of that. And you know this is, we can't have pasta without the Italian seasoning. So we got our Italian seasoning. And a pinch of paprika. And a little bit of salt. You know, I don't like salt. That's it. Because our butter gonna bring our salt. We don't want salty food. You know what I'm saying? And we do have hypertension in our family, as well as diabetes and stuff like that. So we kind of want to watch how we eat it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just manage your portions. It ain't about what you eat, it's how you eat it. Especially with stuff with starch. So I'm gonna give these a quick stir to see, sorry about that, to see if it's getting tender at the bottom. Kind of work them down a little bit, because you want to get them down in that water so they could go ahead on and get tender. And you hear our grease getting hot too. But any other time I would have put that other piece of salmon in there. You know what I'm saying? I like to have them both sitting in that seasoning. And that season, it's a Cajun season, and it is really, really intense. That's why I'm not adding any, as you could look at them. You see all those different peppers in them? So you don't even need any of that. So, with our shrimp season, we don't want to get away from that. With our shrimp season, this is crab ball. I'm going to put a little bit of crab ball on there, because I'm here for the kick, baby. Crab ball. The complete season, again. We season everything here in Jazzy Sweetz-N Treatz. We don't have to do our Greek. We'll add that again at the end. A little pinch of this Italian. And that's all I do on my shrimp for this. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Montreal steak as well. Just like my best friend. I try to put this on everything. So, you know how I do it. I'm gonna mix the gloves in a little. Mix the shrimp up a little with my gloves. I like to get personal, so I can make sure that it's in all the way. You can only do so much with a spoon. And I'm taking and putting a little bit more crab oil in there, so it can have that kick. Now our veggies are looking real good. Really, really good. Look at this. This is kind of what you wanted it to look like before you add in your shrimp, because it's pretty tender. So that way when you add in your shrimp and you get ready to add it to your, it's not hard. Because nobody wants no crunchy onion and bell pepper and shit on top of their pasta. Like nobody don't, that's not a good look. So we're gonna go ahead on and add our shrimp in, and basically we're gonna saute our shrimp inside of that butter and vegetable melody. And I did turn it down because I didn't want them cooking so fast, but being that I have added my meat, I can go ahead and turn my fire up now. And we only gonna turn it up to about a 5. You know, we're not gonna turn it up too high because shrimp cooks really fast. So moving forward, we're gonna need a new glove because our grease is ready. And you just give this a quick stir to make sure your butter is melting properly. Once that butter melts real good in there, then you're gonna add your cheese. And when you add your cheese, you gotta lower your fire and keep your eye on it, because you want it to not stick to the bottom. You want it to be loose and real, real creamy, okay? So That's out the way. Alright, our salmon. That's how you want it to be based. You see how thick it is? Okay. And you're going to come right here with your dry. And I go back and I sprinkle it and push it into the places that I want to. I'm push it like that. But you know that. And once your grease is really hot, some people, you could do a grease test. Just about hot as I want it to be. I don't take it out yet because that's already. You see how they floated all the way to the top? That's how you do your little grease test. And I'm going to lay that fat down first. Here, the meat. I'm going to put the meat part down first. That grease should have been just a tad bit more hotter, but it's going to cook the way I want it to cook. I don't want it to cook too fast because salmon don't take long at all. Fish don't take long at all to cook. I want to get a good bit on there, layered like that. It drips. And I'm going to just lay that there and go over again the same procedure. Get it in there real good. So I'm going to raise it up a little higher so you can see. You want it to kind of be coated really well. So even if you shake it, shit, it slipped out of my hand. So even if you shake it, you see it's a good bit of batter on there. That's how you make your crust. And when you are, I don't know if I told you this, but when you're making your batter, always use cold water. Always use cold water. Even when you're making gravies, like always use cold water. Alright, so we're going to let that sizzle and pressure.
You know what I got on? Got that Veil Life get on. If you don't have that Veil Life get on and you're not on life, you're dead out here. Wake up. Don't sleep. Get fresh. Veil Life just comedy gold. Don't be foolish.
Okay, so coming back in, I just wanted you to see this shrimp. This is what your shrimp gonna look like. Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
You want them on both sides. Went on both sides. And as you can see, all of our noodles has went all the way down to the bottom of the pot. So they are getting really tender. They're really tender. Let me show you what it's looking like here. Your noodles are ready. We're really gonna strain those. We're gonna give it a second. We can turn it off. And another trick I want you to learn, like with your pasta, if you run out of like milk, if you're looking at your pasta, if you can determine by looking that you don't have enough sauce, you is big sauce, right? If you can determine by looking if you don't have enough sauce, you can use some of your noodle water, okay? Then ran out of half and half by now. You at your wit's end. Use a little bit of your noodle water. It'll help keep it consistent and thick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead on and turn our shrimp down. We're gonna turn our shrimp all the way down. And we're gonna strain our noodles, okay? This is our strainer here. We're gonna take our strainer. You don't need this yet. We're gonna use that for when we mix our sauce in. Our noodles here, that we're just gonna strain them. Beautiful. Cooked all the way through. Just pour that in. That's lovely. Our fire is already turned off. And we're just gonna leave that there. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna drop us a little butter in there just to keep them noodles. We did add our vegetable oil, but just to keep them buttered and saturated, I always add butter to my noodles. Okay, so our sauce is cooking and it is looking real good. So we're gonna go ahead on and add our cheese. So you said the show is on the 29th? Okay. I'm gonna use this whole bag of cheese. February 29th. Are you performing or you just putting, you doing the show?
Putting it together.
Okay. So if anybody in Baton Rouge wanna come and put a show together, do you have the venues or what? Who do I need to send them to?
Send them to me at the Real Moneyboy.
At the Real Moneyboy. And as you can see, Moneyboy, we took our salmon out. We did take our fried salmon out. And we placed it on some paper towels to drain the grease to keep it from being greasy. Yeah. Yeah. And you see, once that cheese melt all the way through, then you got something. You cut this tied up. And what you want to do is make sure none of your cheese is sticky. Okay? Make sure none of your cheese is sticky. Because I realized I didn't stir it in all the way like I wanted to. Because I don't want to see the butter floating to the top. The objective is to get everything mixed in together. Like that. So, the next step, we will be putting our next step is just to put our sauce over our noodles. So, we're gonna do that, but these shrimp, oh my god, that is good. So, as you can see, we're pouring the sauce in. Our noodles. And I like a creamy, rich sauce. I don't like my sauce too thick. This is the proper consistency for me, but we're gonna also let it cook down a little bit more. This is all I need. And the half and half makes it creamy and loose. So, you don't need none of that doggone Alfredo sauce in a can. You know what I'm saying? Do it from scratch. And I'm just lifting the noodles in like that. Just working it in. Just working it in like so. And we're gonna let that cook down, and when we come back, we'll show you how we played it, and I wanna let them see what you think about it. All right. I'll tell you why you did it. All right. So now you got the finished product. Oh, yes indeed. I want to eat with you too. You got the finished product. And I want you to just tell me in one word how you feel about this dish.
Fresh.
Yeah, you gotta sample it. You can't just, it looks fresh.
Yeah,
I want to see it. Shit, I want to see if it tastes fresh.
I already know what it tastes like.
Yeah, you know what it tastes like. Get that salmon in there. Oh yeah, pressure. It's not dry either. It's real juicy, like.
Real juicy.
That's a good look. Ooh, let me get you a napkin.
Ooh, the sauce on the face.
How you? Good?
Pressure, yeah.
Ooh, pressure. Yes, indeed. I'm sure finna sit down and eat with you. Before we wrap up, anything else you want to let the people know about that you have up and coming, going on, anything?
Just look out for me, man.
Touch all bases.
You know, follow me on that gram at the Real Moneyboy. Need your car wash, car detail, car shampoo, anything. Y'all hit me up.
Send the location.
I do tint, whatever you think you need, I got. So 1798 North Falls.
Let that up. All around the board with it.
I'm all around the boat.
Most
For real.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Our family, like, we got a bunch of millionaires in the making. You know what I'm saying? My brother really a millionaire. Our oldest brother, he really a millionaire. He putting us the blueprint. We have stocks. You know what I'm saying? We have, this man is a homeowner. He owns his businesses. You know what I'm saying? Real legit stand-up guy in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just had to make sure I let the world know about that. And again, thank you for coming and showing up for your sister. You know, big things popping, this shit stopping. You know what I'm saying? And We just gonna finish our food, man, because this shit pressure, baby. This shit pressure. Y'all make sure y'all check us out on our next episode of Pressure. Thank you for coming in. We got Moneyboy signing out.
We on live.